Hey guys, I just wanted to show you our A-frame chicken coop we've been working on and tell you why we decided to go with an A-frame chicken coop besides the one we had, and I'll take you down over the hill and show you that one here in a little bit. We had, when we first moved out here, probably close to 60 chickens, and we moved out here, I want to say it was early fall, and by the time springtime rolled around and the winter was not very harsh, we lost every single chicken we had. Could not figure out what was going on. Ended up, we had either a mink or a weasel. I'll get more into detail on that story in another video. But he was burrowing underneath of the fence in the other coop, and he was taking the heads off the chickens, drinking the blood, do what minks and weasels do, and leaving the rest of them. So anyways, excuse me. We started this project. It was my stepson's 4-H project. Word on the street is where they're not going to allow poultry into the Ohio State or county fairs in Ohio due to I'm not sure what it's called, it's some kind of disease that's taken out flocks in other states, and they don't want to contaminate the birds in the state of Ohio, which I completely understand, but it's kind of a bummer for my stepson. Anyways, this is the A-frame. And it's about 3.5 feet tall, and if it looks scabbed together, let me tell you, I am not a professional carpenter. I am a welder by trade and a volunteer fireman. So if I'm not making fire, I'm putting them out. I am not a woodworker. But the cool thing about this one is almost 90% of this is actually all of the lumber in this, and a lot of the screws are from refurbished pallets that I get from work. There's a couple there, and I apologize, my garage is an absolute mess. So if you guys decide you want to do this project, keep in mind these pallets with a hammer and a crowbar take roughly 45 minutes to an hour to bust apart. So it's very time consuming. But the chicken coop is about 6 feet long, and like I said, about 3.5 feet high. We're going to take, when we're done here, you can see the sides and you can see the gaps right in here in between the boards. We're going to take a silicone and go through that to keep the chickens dry. And then after that, we're going to put legs on it and raise it up off the ground to try to keep the minks and the other predators out. Probably maybe 3 feet. I mean, it's already 3.5 feet high, so I don't want it too high off the ground, but I do want to get it off of ground level. Now the birds that will be in it will be on the ground from time to time. We will let them out and free range a little bit through the day, so they're not just going to be cooped up in here all the time. Unless, of course, we do a Cornish or something like that, which you really got to watch what you feed them, and they grow out in like 3 to 5 months, and they're ready to process. But yeah, the angles on this are cut at about 60 degrees. I did not draw any blueprints for this. We just kind of went with the flow and slapped it together. So, and I looked at a lot of blueprints on these, or I'm sorry, blueprints, plans, same thing, on Pinterest, Google, the whole nine, and didn't really see anything I liked. Kind of got the main gist for what I was looking for, and this is what I went with. There's a floor in here. It's not done yet, but I will put a board across here to keep eggs from rolling out, and we'll finish the floor over there. And then this area here, I'm sorry, the area right here on the floor will be 1/2-inch hardware cloth, and they can walk on that, and all the droppings will go through. And then I have welded wire I will put across here. It's pretty simple. I mean, this thing, so far, minus the time busting the pallets apart, I might have an hour to an hour and a half time in this thing. Like I said, it's not very hard. As long as you can somewhat read a tape measure and you have an ink pen and a saw and a hammer and a handful of nails, you can do it. So yeah, that's about it there. We will go down and check out the other chicken coop here. Bear with me, it's a bit of a long walk. But check this out. Look at that view. tell you what, they couldn't pay me to move to the city. And I apologize for the camera shaking. That absolutely drives me nuts watching that when I'm, watching somebody's YouTube videos and the camera shaking everywhere. This is my first video. I have no idea how to edit, but I will learn. I promise you that. I've had a YouTube channel for quite some time, and I've never really got up the courage to make a video until I watched some other videos and started talking to some people. And yeah, there's some other Ohio guys out there that have some YouTube videos that they're pretty good guys. I'll give them a shout out later in this video. Yes, here is the old chicken coop, which worked absolutely great. I mean, there's a wire roof. The building was great. It's a bit tall, but it served the purpose. The weeds are grown up. As you can see, I haven't had chickens or anything in there in quite some time. You can't see it now, but there is a 2x4 down here, and what happened is those weasels or minks would get in there, and then I would just find remnants of carnage and chickens. And at one time I had turkeys in there, and he got my turkeys. I had quails in there, he got all my quails. I've set traps, I've put up trail cameras, I've done everything from traps to sitting on the porch with a spotlight and a rifle, and I just could not get the little son of a gun. This is where we had our goats when we had them. We'll eventually have pigs in here. Like I said, I did buy the dog kennel new. There's the laying hens. They're just about ready, and the duck, which my kids talked me into buying, and I'm not a big duck fan, so if anybody wants a duck, let me know. But they're right about at the age where they need to get out of there and into a bigger lot. That'll probably happen next week. But these panels, they were given to me. People just had them, the hog panels or sheep panels, whatever you want to call them. There's a couple cattle panels back here. People had them laying around, and I asked for them, put it out on Craigslist. They're like, yeah, sure, come get them, or, give me $5 for them. And I'm like, well, all right, it's worth $5. You price them new, and they're $20. So yeah, those guys, excuse me, so they'll be going into that chicken coop because we are probably not going to do 4-H chickens this year. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of one of those things where you don't really have any control over it. So yeah, so if anybody has any questions, constructive criticism is always great. Leave them in the comments. Let me know. If you have any questions about the chicken coop, about the farm, anything. I think the next video I'll go over the garden, and we'll talk about that. I put out a big garden every year, and we'll get some fishing in there eventually. I'd like to learn how to edit the videos before I did that, because I know it can be boring between fish. Do a lot of deer hunting as well, a lot of bow hunting. So yeah, fall rolls around, stick with me, man. We'll get some good hunting, fishing footage, some videos, and yeah, I follow some guys on YouTube pretty close. Whitetail Bushcraft, you guys, you and Sean, you guys are awesome. You guys are in Ohio too. I seen that's great. That really, sparked my fire to do YouTube videos. MPH Gardner, you're down south. I can't remember the state right now. I apologize. Great people. Love the videos, guys. Keep them up. And there's a lot of other, other gardeners or other people doing videos, homesteaders, and you guys are all doing videos too. And I can't remember everybody's names, but you guys keep it up, man. I learn from you guys, and I'd like you guys to learn from me too. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Constructive criticism is always accepted. If you guys have an idea, something to add to the chicken coop, take away, let me know. So we'll see how it goes. So till next time, guys. Thanks.